Welcome back to Gruber Power Hour, where we delve into the latest advancements in technology that are shaping our world. I'm Erica.
And I am Wyatt. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting developments in electrical engineering, and that's going to be the emergence of solid-state batteries.
That's right. So solid-state batteries are they're gaining momentum, especially concerning electric vehicles and consumer products or electronics. But they promise not only to improve performance, but also enhance safety. So I wanted to kick it off with safety improvements.
So your conventional lithium-ion batteries, they can be prone to issues like flammability, thermal runaway. We keep bringing up that one video of the burning garbage.
Yeah.
Somebody threw away a lithium-ion battery and a whole garbage truck had to dump everything out because it was all on fire.
Yeah. Stupid.
In contrast, solid-state batteries utilize solid electrolytes, which significantly reduce those kinds of risks.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. And that's crucial for industries where safety is paramount, like electric vehicles. Could you imagine peace of mind if you were an electric vehicle owner? Like you just pull up, you're getting gas or you're just running in to grab a drink and you plug it in and boom, it's charged by the time you come out. Like that'd be so rad. That'd be amazing. I wish my phone would do that.
We're kind of hoping to get to, man.
My fast charging's not very fast.
No?
No.
You got a better fast charger.
Thanks, Samsung.
I've got one that will blow your mind. I'm not even lying. I ordered it online.
Sorry. But less likely, for that advancement in the batteries and that technology right now to take off, because it's more likely that it's going to catch on fire and explode now.
Especially when you're talking about a car, something that's, when you're hurtling down the street in your multi-ton chunk of metal, it'd probably be preferable if one of the main components of that wasn't a flammable explosive, right?
I mean, unless you're into, some like Joker moves, going through Gotham. I'm just kidding. Do not Batman, Joker, or Harley Quinn that sucker. But yeah, so it's an essential topic, right? So safety, it not only saves lives.
Yeah, it's essential for boosting people's confidence and being able to trust that kind of technology and make the transition over to e-vehicles,
Yeah, the confidence in our technology boost, it's at adoption rates, I should say. So now moving on to our next point, it's energy density. This one I find very interesting.
Right. So solid state batteries have the potential to offer a much higher energy density compared to the lithium ion components.
So this means like longer drives, like I was saying, for an electric vehicle, and less frequent recharging for like portable devices. So who wouldn't want to travel further and use their devices longer without worrying about running out of battery?
Right.
That's ultimately, I think, what this whole thing is about, is the longevity and the abilities.
Yeah, like the solid state batteries, you touched on it earlier, like the consumer experience of being able to just park your car at a place and plug in at one of those various charging stations, and you can just run an errand really quick and come back, and you've got a full charge that could take you like literally they're
to another state.
To like another state. Yeah, be able to like, okay, I'm now fully charged and prepared to drive across the country if I really needed to, which is crazy to me.
It's a game
that we
changer.
can do it that fast.
Yeah.
I think there's even ideas of like doing wireless charging technology through cars, which is, I don't know how you would manage to do that in a way that feels safe to me. But if you can, oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. And
I know.
I want to see it and I want to know how it works.
But like the faster charging. So it like, one of the most common customer complaints about electric vehicles has been the charging times.
Yeah.
I mean, I see them out there. Oh, I disappeared. That was cool. I can do Halloween magic tricks. But the customers, so they're saying that the charging time is just too long. And like you can see a Tesla sitting outside. It takes overnight sometimes even. And other, oh my God, those Priuses. I don't know. They need a better charging station because they go really slow. Have you ever been behind one?
I have once or twice.
You just want to have road rage even when you don't. You're like, just move.
So like that, because that's a big hurdle, especially for me. I've wanted an electric vehicle like pretty much since they first arrived on the market. But every once in a while, I like to do those kinds of longer trips, and knowing that I would have to stop for like 8 to 10 hours to get another full charge if I were to use the full like runtime of those batteries. That's kind of not a selling point.
No, not right now. And most common complaints that we're talking about, like these solid state technology could really address that. It could really, like the advances in solid electrode material may lead to like significantly faster charging capabilities. And if you imagine stopping for a quick coffee, like I was saying, or something like that, and then it charges it like that. And it's a great visualization of faster charging. It's like undoubtedly it'll make EVs more appealing.
I even wrote myself a little note here because this is crazy to me, and I really hope that they can do it. Toyota in Japan is working on building electric vehicles with the solid state technology that with only 10 minutes would be able to travel a full 1,000 kilometers.
What is that in American miles?
It's like 600 something miles, but they put it as kilometers, but it's like, that's crazy.
So that's like from
be able
here
to do that.
to what? Almost Washington? No, not Washington.
You could, I think you
Almost
can make
Washington.
most of the trip all the way up the like West Coast on like one charge and be able to charge and go right back, which is so wild to me. And they're wanting to
Saves
be able
so
to have
much
this
money.
technology. They were talking by 2027, 2028. So like around the
2028?
corner. Yeah.
Toyota,
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
We're watching you. I want to see what
They're
happens.
trying to get a bunch of people, especially with the solid state technology coming around, are these auto manufacturers that have traditionally gone with combustible and engines. They're like, okay, now the cost proposition is there, like it's cheaper to make these things now. They're starting to put like real serious development into EVs. I think we're going to have much bigger of an electric vehicle market.
Ooh, we have some questions. Mohammed says hello. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello.
And then Instagram, Amanaman.
Amanaman was asking
says-
which battery is best for data centers. And
12 volt.
12 volt, yeah, like 7 amp, 12 volt, or 9 amp.
Like 7 to 9, yeah.
Yeah, 7 to 9
It really
amp.
depends on your KVA and what your uptime and downtime and
Yeah,
like,
the size
what
of
you're
your data
looking
center
for.
is definitely gonna matter. But if you wanted to send us the details about like what you got going on, like what your current
we
load
can
is,
give
what
you
kind of
the
runtime
exact.
you want, then we can get you more exact stuff.
Yeah,
We just
and
want to be able to
data
do it on
sheets.
the air because it's gonna be math.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
more
do
stuff that
math
we'd
in
have to chat
person.
about. Yeah,
I don't do math in person.
you guys would know how bad I am at math, and that's not a good idea.
Oh, we use our technology called Excel.
So,
but it's a great point.
Right. But going along the lines with the e-vehicles, another thing that's strengthened the proposition of these companies making them is the longevity of these batteries being able to last much longer.
Exactly.
If you've owned a Tesla for a long time, if you bought some of those original ones, you probably know that after a couple of years in, you're starting to have some struggles with those batteries.
Yeah.
It's not holding the charge nearly as long, and it's way more expensive to get those switched out. The idea is that the advantage of these is going to be that they're less prone to just degrading in general.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And it could extend the overall lifespan of a battery, subsequently reduce cost and over product's lifetime. It's just win-win for customers and manufacturers alike. And then it's a crucial point for researchers to continue to explore suitable materials for solid electrolytes, like that demonstrate the right balance of performance, cost, and then scalability. Which, I wanted to throw this out there because I was looking it up. I had it in papers. So, Proligium, I believe is the proper way of saying that, technology. They are currently the world's only solid-state battery manufacturer that has reached mass production and continues to inspire global battery innovation toward fully electric, sustainable future. So Elon Musk put out an article here, and he announced that Tesla will be releasing an electric vehicle with a sodium solid-state battery, which he says will be a watershed moment. Are you familiar with that term?
Not really.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly
I know it's supposed to be like a
understanding
big.
it.
I think it's meant to be like, oh, but
Well,
honestly,
part the
what
Red Sea.
yeah, exactly, kind of moment. I don't know if it would exactly be that because I don't trust anything a guy who owns a tech company says because he wants to sell he wants to sell it. But yeah, I think it is going to be good technology. That's for
I
sure.
love controversy on podcasts. I love it. I really do. Let's talk about it. No, just kidding. What they say about solid state batteries is that they are safer, they're more durable, and then, higher energy density that conventional lithium ion batteries just really can't touch. I like the AI image that we asked it to build based on what we said. And I thought that was so cool. And now I just want a house that has a solar panel that looks like that on the top. That would be cool to have my house look like a total big old battery tower.
With all these like different cylinders all over the place.
That would be cool.
That's kind of neat.
So what, there were other options that they were looking into. I just think it was
for like materials.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is what because I read that article too, and it reminded me of something that I had learned a while ago, and I actually had to go and Google it again to see if I was remembering it correctly. One of the materials that has been suggested for new battery technology is crabs. Crabs. There is a material or like right.
Money.
So the chitinous shells that they have contain. I even wrote it down on a piece of paper. Chitosan is the name of the material.
Okay.
The University of Maryland has been doing research into this for quite a while now, but it promises to be a possible renewable resource that could be used for the manufacturing of batteries. Huh. Right? So one day we could just be.
But wait, are we going to have a bunch of crab farms now? Is that what's going to end up happening?
Crab farms for batteries?
Yeah, well, hey, put your GMO in that.
Oh, on Instagram, we got two things from there. We got a greetings from Iraq. That is awesome.
Aloha
from all the way across the sea.
What is this session about? It is about solid state batteries.
Yeah.
Solid state batteries are high interfacial resistance between and solid electrolyte. That has been a long-standing issue with all solid state batteries. Oh, we got Pete.
Yeah, speaking of batteries, I think we got the battery guy himself who
Pete's
would like
coming. I knew he was going to come today because whenever we talk about batteries, he's in. He's
right
ready.
around the corner somewhere.
He's like, let's talk about this. Well, good morning, Pete. Welcome
Morning,
to your show.
And good morning, anyone joining us. Appreciate it.
We got some good questions
We've got
already.
Headset here.
So.
That's not cooperative. There it goes. Okay.
What's that?
I got you. What's up?
All right.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
Get right up on your mic, Pete.
We got you, Pete.
Oh, I even have my shirt on today. Did you guys notice that?
I don't.
Oh, yeah. We're matching, dude. Yeah.
All right. So I heard the first part of your podcast.
Yeah.
And, the thing that I find perplexing is why in our business, the critical power business, the UPSs, they're not using a next generation battery technology.
Right.
Indeed.
Right.
Yeah, remember, 95% of the systems that get sold out there, UPSs, still use old lead acid batteries.
Yeah, and when I've done my research on it, it seems like APC has newer models that will take lithium ion, but it is so much more of a rarity. And now we're talking about tech beyond lithium ion. It's like it feels like UPS are like 2 steps back now in a lot of ways.
Sure, the EV market is really pushing the new technologies. And so people often ask, well, why? Well, I have a personal opinion. I think that the UPS OEMs are just lazy.
Yeah.
They probably don't want to pay the manufacturing cost that it would take to redo their process. They were like, if they need to make new systems that are going to be compatible with this technology, they may have to rebuild their manufacturing from the ground up. So they don't want to do that investment. But then it's the consumer that ends up losing out. And environmentally, it's not as good. Like there's a lot of reasons that they should do it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. The 2 reasons are it requires a technological change, so they have to re-engineer. And another compelling reason is competition. Solid state or even a old lithium ion type technology costs more.
Yeah.
And when you're competing in a marketplace, that's an important consideration because it's, A and B comparison. So It requires the skill to sell this technology.
Right.
Right.
And there are some compelling reasons. So what I ended up doing was, and I love AI, as you guys know.
Yes.
I went to AI and I said, all right, let's see, UPS OEMs have been somewhat reluctant to transition from lead acid to lithium ion batteries. Why? And it listed several reasons. And I think that the OEMs are using AI as well, because I'm going to show you the reasons it gave and how absurd they really are.
Okay. What did they script AI to say?
Yeah.
So the first one was cost consideration. All right, granted. Okay, lithium ion, any kind of a
Newer stuff,
non-lead
it's going to
acid.
be more expensive. It's newer tech. It's not as
Right.
cheap to manufacture.
But they phrase it perfectly. It tends to be more expensive up front than lead acid batteries, although they can offer a lower total cost of ownership due to their longer lifespan and better efficiency. So again, it has to be sold.
Yeah.
And it's not a hard sell. It reminds me of what we did in the 80s in the last century.
Right. Yeah.
There were old technology UPSs that were using step wave inverters instead of the new IGBT transistors. And the efficiencies ran as bad as 70%, maybe 80% or so, which means that you're consuming a certain amount of power by running this equipment, and your electricity costs are up here, and an 80% or 70% efficiency means that you're paying way more than what you're getting.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So then these later UPSs came out, and they were in the 90% range plus. So it was an easy sell to walk into a site and say, how many UPSs do you have? How big a facility do you have? What's your electric bill every month? And let's take a look at that. And what would change if you upgraded to a 90% UPS?
If we invested just a little bit in here, like
what
how much
changed?
every month are you going to be saving? Exactly.
It became a compelling argument, and all they had to do at that point, the IT managers, or what they used to call data processing managers, was just simply go to accounting and say, look how much we can save if we spent this
long
much
haul.
money, and the ROI would be there in 2.3 years or whatever, right?
Right.
Sorry, that's my phone.
No phones allowed.
No phones allowed in here. Here we go. Victor's calling me. So we got a YouTube question from Mehmed Shamarov. He says,
Oh, yeah.
is the solid state batteries available for sale in drone technology?
I wouldn't
Yes.
think. Is it? Really?
It's
Solid-state
already
batteries.
established in drones, but it's not like at your everyday supermarket. It's currently only available for like military
Okay,
or
yeah.
special intelligence.
Yeah, it's
for the
probably not
most part.
consumer consumption quite yet, but
No.
the technology's out there. And I guess that makes a lot of sense considering you want your weight to be down so you can have a smaller battery that's able to hold more of a charge.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes a lot of sense. We had another question. Can we replace lithium ion batteries with germanium batteries? I've heard germanium before, but I honestly am not sure.
I'm gonna
I
leave
haven't
that to
been
you,
heard
Pete.
about. Yeah, have you heard about germanium?
No, I haven't, but there's so many new chemistries that are coming online. The consideration isn't the chemistry in the battery, it's the KW rating of that DC power plant. And, technically you could even power an EV with lead acid batteries. You would need a whole bunch of them, and I'll get into that in a moment here to show you how much. And then Instagram, Mr. Ahmad DJ says, hi, welcome, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
So the number of items that AI gave for why OEMs in the UPS business are reluctant to switch over to a newer battery technology. One was cost consideration. We dispelled that fairly quickly. Proven reliability. All right. They say lead acid batteries have been used in UPSs for decades, providing a reliable, well understood technology for emergency backup power. Now, this is that old silly adage of we've always done it this way, so we should continue to do
It's
it.
an
that's
old
exactly
fallacy.
what it sounds like.
It's a fallacy. It's exactly what it is. It's like, well, it's always worked, so why wouldn't it always
ain't
keep
broke.
working? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's like, well, you don't know what's broke, do you?
So now this is not AI's opinion. This is the reasons AI is giving why the critical power manufacturers don't switch over to a better, newer technology. So they want to stick with the known reliability. All right, again, absurd. All right. Safety concerns. They say that lithium-ion batteries pose higher risks for thermal runaway and fire if not properly managed. The safety mechanisms required to mitigate these risks will add some complexity. Simple answer to that is, you have lithium ion predominantly in electric vehicles, which, granted, under certain circumstances poses a safety risk.
Absolutely.
Nowhere near the amount of fires generated with ICE vehicles, and that's been proven time and time again. You know, Google it, look it up. It's infinitely greater
kinda
for ICE
cool.
vehicles. So we have this issue of safety. Well, first of all, in a car, you have wide temperature extremes.
Yeah.
You have wide charging curve type characteristics. You have road hazards. One of the first EV fires was a pipe that was in the road that was bouncing that punctured one of the batteries in a Tesla Model S.
Oh,
In a data center, you have a controlled environment.
right.
Yeah.
It's always the same temperature, and it's optimal temperature.
If you're running your data center the way that you should be, it should just be at that consistent temperature.
Yeah.
So there's no threat.
that risk
And there's no
is
pipes
pretty much
puncturing
mitigated.
it.
No.
Yeah, you're not going to get punctured by a random pipe at your data center.
And then the randomness of charging. In a data center, those batteries are always being trickle charged.
Always.
They're at optimum charge. So the concern about safety and fires or any of this this type of FUD that typically swirls around EV batteries, you can discount that when you put this application into a data center.
Yeah, absolutely. Stop fear mongering.
Right.
Mongoling.
Mongrelling.
Mongering, yes.
Mongering.
Weight and space. For some applications, the lighter weight and smaller size of lithium ion do not offer a clear advantage. In stationary settings, in other words, a data center, where space and weight are less of a concern, the benefits of lithium ion might not justify the switch. Now, again, these are reasons that AI thinks that the UPS manufacturers are avoiding getting into the 21st
Avoiding
century
is the
with
right
their
word.
battery technology.
Yeah.
Right.
Smaller size, I disagree that it's not necessary because you've got lots of space. The demand on data center space is severe these days because of the proliferation of AI and additional servers and additional
More
customers.
cloud computing, exactly, as we get into more and more digital age. Yeah.
Ooh, Mehmed asks, I want to know the companies that produce these batteries, if you know some of them. Thank you very much. Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. So one of them is called Prologium Technology. That's Prologium. And I believe
They're the ones doing
that
the solid states.
they're,
I'm not sure if they were asking about
Europe.
the lithium ion.
oh,
Well, both lithium ion and lithium iron phosphate and the solid state batteries. China has really committed to creating this type of product. Cattle, for example, CATL is a very large one that is used, and there are some in the United States as well.
to what percentage should we charge our lithium ion batteries?
The optimum, and I'm going to go to the Tesla Roadster now, which is the car that we have specialized in at Gruber Motor Company and have 10 years experience with. Charging to 80%, 85% is the optimum charge level for those batteries. Now remember, unlike a data center, where you're constantly charging to 85% but not using the power, it's just, deteriorating a tiny bit until
trickles.
you get a power outage, which is infrequent as well.
Yeah.
3-4 times a year, maybe,
At
right?
most, yeah.
Maybe.
In a car, you are discharging every time you take it out and drive it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they say that 80 to 85% is the optimum. And there's even a school of thought that says if you do a lot of supercharging and you take it to 100% charge, you're going to degrade the quality and the life of your battery pack.
Yeah, I could probably say that goes for almost anything that involves charging.
I was even just thinking about it. Our phones were a similar way, kind of like you were saying, about the optimal place to keep it is around 85, 70%. If you're somebody who keeps your phone plugged in at all times because you're worried that it's going to actually like decharge over time, like you're worried that
You're
it's
ruining
going to
your
die,
phone.
you're actually ruining the battery in your phone.
Yeah.
It's overheating it more than necessary. It is degrading it over time. You'll find even when you charge it to 100, you go out and it drops all the way down 25% in less than an hour because you've degraded your battery by overheating it. So these are the same general principle, right? So
It is.
So we're not using your UPS every day like your phone or your or a Tesla if you were driving that. So you don't have to worry about that degradation nearly as much.
So your critical power would do much better with the newer battery technologies.
Yes.
So the fifth one that AI lists as a potential reason that the UPS manufacturers just won't migrate to the new battery technologies is life cycle and recycling. They say lead-acid batteries have a well-established recycling system with high recycling rate. The recycling infrastructure for lithium-ion batteries is less mature, which raises environmental and compliance concerns.
That sounds like a sales pitch.
It's completely wrong, actually.
Yeah, well, like,
like a
and that's my
sales
thing. My thing with it is it saying the environmental concerns and all of that, but like we know that we're working on that. Like you know, like this technology is growing at such a rapid pace that it's like. I would understand maybe on the surface value being like, well, it's an underdeveloped technology, so do we really know how to deal with the disposal of these well as the ones that we already have? But it's like we know that, you know, like
Tell us something we don't know.
tell us something we don't know, that you have to be responsible with your materials. So yeah.
So the facts here are, and we recycle lead acid batteries because we're in the critical power business, and 90% of the equipment that comes in for recycling or for repurposing or refurbishing has lead acid batteries in it.
Yep.
What we do is we send those off to a recycler, and what the recycler does is they cut off the plastic top, they pour out the sulfuric acid or the electrolyte, they neutralize it with a base like baking soda.
Right.
They render it back to salt water, and now they can safely flush that down the drain without causing environmental problems.
Yep.
Then they have lead that then goes to the smelter and can be recycled to a degree.
Melt it down,
To a
possibly
degree.
reuse.
And then you have plastic, which can also be recycled in the case. But the recovery rate for those lead acid batteries is nowhere near as efficient and as clean as lithium ion.
Absolutely.
And the reason is any kind of a newer technology battery like lithium ion, and there are a number of recycling companies in the United States. Redwood Materials, which is J.B. Strobel's company, the original CTO of Tesla, is one of the largest. We've got Li-Cycle here in town. These batteries coming into these recycling centers are pure ore. They are over 90% recyclable.
Yeah.
The cobalt, the magnesium, the stainless steel, the lithium can all be recycled. And the beauty of it is an infinite supply chain loop. It can be done over and over again without degradation.
Right. That ultimately saves so much, and they're doing sales pitches like that.
Think of what happens to the planet when you are making lithium-ion batteries, all right? Right now, they have gigantic brine ponds in Bolivia, South America,
Okay.
where they bring the water that is laced with lithium onto the surface of the ground, and they need thousands of acres of brine ponds to have the water evaporate to extract the lithium, which of course destroys the soil, first of all. Now you have some pure lithium, and now you have to transport it to the places where they use it. So you have overland diesel transport to the coast. Then you have a ship, again, diesel, that takes it to the United States or wherever, or to Europe. Then you have overland transport to get it to the factories.
Yep.
So you have this highly inefficient supply chain process. If you combine a recycling center and you build it near the manufacturing plant, you've eliminated all of that, that
Big
environmental,
By just
hazard.
trying to reuse the stuff that we already have that's here.
To be not too opinionated, I just don't see a lot of efficiency happening. And being someone who is in the transportation industry for the last almost 10 years, it's like the objects and the product that I see consistently moving between certain hubs and then overseas and then back over, I'm going, why are we sending our chicken over here to get chopped up to then get sent back to us here? It's like, why are we so lazy we can't chop chicken? What's going on? I just don't understand the efficiency behind it and the cost structure behind it. It costs us so much more rather than maintaining it so close to the manufacturing.
So one final thing that I want to leave you guys with is, that's okay, the short-sightedness that takes place in the critical power business by not switching to these newer technology batteries. So what I did was, and I asked AI again to assist with this, how many lead-acid batteries would it take to power an EV that has a 100 kW battery pack, like the Model S,
right.
Interesting question.
Yeah, the 100 kW. It turns out that it would require 105 12-volt, 80-amp-hour lead-acid batteries. So I said, well, how much does that weigh? Now, remember, in a Tesla Model S, 100 kW batteries, about 1,200 pounds. To do that with lead-acid would require 7,000 pounds.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have enough room in the car to put the batteries. You'd have to have a trailer behind you. And then,
right.
Trailer batteries. And then you only go like, 100 miles?
Yeah, that's right. That's the other thing. Well, of course, the KW would potentially take you into the same distance as the lithium ion, because that's what the rating would imply. But so again,
I just see a trailer in Arizona at 120 degrees outside.
Oh my gosh.
So UPS manufacturers, they need to get into the 21st century. They need to put aside the concerns and the FUD about safety with lithium, even lithium ion, which has a fire risk. Now, lithium iron phosphate does not.
Right.
So if that's truly the concern, just go to LFP instead of lithium ion.
Yep.
Or solid state, some of the newer technologies.
Just hire Pete Gruber. He'll fix it.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got all of it.
No.
Well, we've got another question. Instagram.
Yes.
Syed says UPS is used more than a cell phone battery.
I saw that. So the UPS, but you may have misunderstood what I mean. The UPS is online at all times, but you're not using the charge on your battery at all times. You're only using that when it actually goes into the runtime.
Yeah.
It is actually supporting the load. So you are using UPS all the time, but it's only going off at most a couple of times a year. Whereas the phone, like I was saying, while they are a lot smaller and all that, if you're using it all of the time and always charging it, always keeping it super hot, then it's going to degrade over time. The same with your UPS if you don't have the environmental in the right place.
And Tassif is asking, why don't EV vehicles provide high torque or steep roads while petrol and diesel-based engines do? So where we are lagging the power. Where are
That's
we
definitely a Pete question because I know nothing about that.
The torque curve in an EV is actually better than an ICE vehicle. One of the characteristics of a three-phase AC induction motor is extremely high torque in a small package, much smaller package. And the other advantage is with a three-phase AC induction motor, your torque is instant. It's there at 0 RPM. With an internal combustion engine, you have to spool up to a certain optimal RPM before you get your maximum torque.
Right. Oh, wow. There is your answer. See, I love it when Pete's on here because I feel like I learned so much when I'm and the audience seems to interact with you more when you're here than with us when it's just us. So we're going to have Pete on here a little more.
Or just put an effigy of me behind here. And
we'll just put a JPEG of Pete somewhere.
Big old I like AI Pete. He's funny. Everyone was asking me, why don't you put AI Pete in the background of your LinkedIn? I was like, well, that would be misconceiving that they would think that that's me, not him. But I think it's great. I thank you all so much for joining us today. Pete, thank you for coming on today.
Welcome,
that was so much fun.
Pleasure.
I enjoy this. And
absolutely.
If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, then just give us a shout. Let us know. You can reach out at either GUT@Gruber, GRUBER.com, or
I am at ALD@Gruber.com.
and we'll be happy to answer your questions. And hey, we're not opposed to saying we don't know and then coming over here and asking.
If I don't know, I'll find out. That's my gig.
But that's our day today on Gruber Power Hour. You have yourself a wonderful weekend. I'm Erica.
And I'm Wyatt.
I'm Pete. Thank you.